Vitale Wealth Management with this week's Gradient Investment Market Update. All information is gathered as of the week, February 2nd, 2026. Hope you've had a great week thus far. Let's get into what's happening. The major U.S. stock indexes finished the week mixed. The S&P 500 was up 0.35, while the NASDAQ fell 0.16, and the Dow declined 0.42%. Now, value stocks continue to outperform growth stocks, with the Russell 1000 value up 0.62, while the Russell 1000 growth was down 0.48. Precious metals experienced significant volatility during the week. Gold and silver both reached all-time highs before sharply reversing on Friday. Gold dropped as much as 9% on the day, its worst single-day decline since 1983, while silver fell nearly 30%, marking its second largest daily decline on record. January was a very positive month for all major U.S. indexes. For the S&P 500, it marked the 8th positive month out of the past 9. Remember, gold is still just under $5,000 an ounce, and silver right around $85. Upcoming economic releases, the key economic data this week will offer fresh insights into the labor market and the consumer sentiment. The JOLTS report, which is Job Opening and Labor Turnover Survey, was released actually yesterday, providing updates on labor demand and job openings. On Friday, the monthly jobs and unemployment data will provide insights if the labor market continues to show resilience. Now, that same day, the consumer sentiment data will offer insights into consumer confidence. Let's talk about market outlook. The latest personal consumption expenditures, which is PCE, price index showed inflation holding steady as expected, with headline prices rising 2.8% annual rate, which is still considerably down. It's looking like in good shape. They were concerned it was going to go way out of sorts. The Federal Reserve held interest rates steady at their latest meeting after 3 consecutive rate cuts at the end of 2025. The President also announced his nomination for the next Fed chair, which would be Kevin Warsh, is expected to take over for the current chair, Jerome Powell, after his term ends in mid-May, pending Senate confirmation. Now, Warsh previously served as a Federal Reserve governor during the global financial crisis. He is generally viewed as more supportive of rate cuts than Powell, and has expressed support for shrinking the Fed's balance sheet. Fourth quarter earnings season is in full swing, with most of the Magnificent Seven having reported results last week. As of Friday, Wall Street analysts estimate that the S&P earnings grew 11.9% year over year in quarter four, from an 8.2% growth forecast just a week earlier. So we're seeing that. We're also forecasting a pretty decent year this year. We hope to see a lot more growth. We are seeing some expansion numbers this year already. Recent activity, there was trading in the precious metal portfolio on Thursday, January 29th. The following, they sold silver, added gold. So they felt that silver has, they're doing a little bit of profit taking since it's such a considerable growth. They're shifting more over to gold, where they think it's just more slow and steady is how they're looking at it. Also, stocks in the news, Meta, which is owned in the core selected G33, reported better than expected earnings. The company provided CapEx guidance of $115 to $135 billion for 2026, up from $72.2 billion spent in 2025. Reflecting continued investment in AI and infrastructure, shares gained 6.5% for the week. So about Apple, owned in the core selected G33, also beat expectations on both top and bottom line, driven by record-breaking iPhone sales. Notably, China rose by 38%. Marking a significant turnaround after declining sales in 3 of the previous 4 quarters. Shares were up 1.59% for the week. That concludes this week's market summary. Thank you so much for tuning in and being part of the Vitale Wealth family. If you'd like to get a hold of us, you know the number, 855-756-5700. Visit us at vitalewealth.com, and we look forward to seeing you again next week. God bless you.